Hi, conscious parents. Hi, it's an amazing day and it's another day to have this beautiful conversation. Welcome to the Conscious Parents Television, and I'm your host, Dr. Vivian Okoye, your favorite parenting coach. Welcome. I've been away for some time. Since December, January, we have not dropped any content on the television, but we are back with a bang, and you don't want to miss any of the amazing content we'll be dropping here every week. So, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, kindly click the subscribe button and also click the bell so that you get a notification anytime we drop a video for you. So welcome. And today we're talking about how to improve your child's behavior. An interesting conversation, because I believe that every parent just wants to help their child to improve on their behavior. If we have anything in common as parents, that will be the desire to actually improve our children's behavior, right? So children will be children will misbehave. Children have shortcomings because they are little humans. They're still growing, they're still learning, and that is why we are in their life, to help them, to equip them, and to nurture them, and to direct them in the right path, right? So that is why we're having this conversation. And to start this conversation, we want to look at what a behavior is, right? And I stumbled on, while I was preparing for this, I stumbled on a beautiful definition that captures my idea for this conversation. So that definition says that a behavior is a way that a person reacts, usually in response to a particular situation or stimulus. So naturally, a behavior doesn't just come out of nowhere. A behavior is usually in response to a stimulus or to a situation, right? And this is very foundational, because an understanding that every behavior that we see outwardly in our children is their response to a stimulus or a situation is really profound if we want to help them improve on their behavior. Most times what I see is that when children behave in an unacceptable way, parents attack the children instead of attacking the behavior. But when you understand that the behavior is not your child, but that the behavior is your child's response to something, then you start to investigate in an intelligent way to actually understand where that behavior is coming from, what is triggering that behavior, what is your child responding to. And if you're able to answer these questions, then you are well on your way to handling that behavior and helping your child overcome, right? So what this helps you to do is that you're looking at your child's behavior with an open mind and with an investigative approach, where you're trying to solve the problem and you're trying to equip your child with the skills to behave better in the future, right? So for instance, you have a child who is slow with their chores, right? Or who is lazy, or who you consider quote and unquote lazy. Probably you tell them to do something and you come back and those things haven't been done. So instead of just flaring up and yelling and shouting, what this is trying to tell us to do is that you want to ask yourself, why is my child behaving this way? What situation is triggering this behavior? What is my child responding to, right? So you want to ask yourself if there is any way that you have contributed to that behavior, if the environment is contributing to that behavior. So if you give your child a chore and there is TV, there's entertainment, there are other things calling for their attention, or there are children playing outside, then that environment is not enabling your child to do that chore, because your child is going to be distracted. Probably they're going to leave the chore and start watching TV. Probably they're going to leave the chore and go outside to play with other kids. So when you have an understanding of what is going on, then you remove those things that are distracting your child, and you're helping your child to improve on their behavior. Or you call your child and have a conversation and come up with a structure, like, okay, I know you love to watch TV, but let's create a routine. This is time for washing plates, this is time for cleaning, and when you're done with this is now time for watching TV. If you want to enforce, you might want to remove the smart card, you might want to remove the remote control or something to actually teach them and to help them build that habit until they can naturally do their chores and then settle for entertainment, right? So that is what this is trying to say. For every time that you spot an unacceptable behavior in your child, you want to ask yourself, what is my child responding to? What is the situation that is making this behavior to thrive, right? What is the environment that is making this situation to thrive? What is the person? Because it can be a person, it can be you, it can be an external influence that is making this behavior to thrive, right? That is the foundation of helping your child to improve their behavior, would be what I would call asking the right questions and having the right approach. That is the number one thing. If you want to help your child improve their behavior, then you want to have an understanding of what behavior is and where they come from, which we have done and understood by defining behavior, right? Then number two thing, you want to ask the right questions and you want to have the right approach. Then there is one particular thing that can help you, one particular parenting tool that can help you improve your child's behavior maximally, and that is what I call rapport relationship bonding, right? Some people call it rapport, some people call it relationship, some people call it connection, but I prefer to call it bonding. When you have a bond with your child, it's easy for you to help them improve their behaviors, right? When you have a bond with your child, it's easy for you to help them improve their behavior, right? How is it easy? How does building a bond with your child help you? Number one, when you have a connection or a deep bond with your child, it helps you to spot behavior anomalies on time. So because you're paying attention, because you spend present time with your child, because you have a connection with your child, you can spot a behavior anomaly, right? You can spot when your child is behaving in a way that is unlike them. You can spot it easily when you have a connection with your child, and when you spot it, that gives you an edge over a parent who doesn't have a relationship with their child, because you spot it on time and you address it on time with the initial conversation that we have had. That's with the right approach, with asking the right questions, right? So when you spot it on time, you can address it on time. That is number one thing that having a deep bond with your child can help you achieve. Number two thing that it can help you achieve is that it makes you accessible to your child. So if you have a deep bond with your child, you're accessible. So your child can share their struggles, they can share their worries with you. And in these conversations, you can spot teachable moments, right? And you can use them to teach your child, right? And also, like I said, teachable moments. When you have a deep bond with your child, you have a lot of teachable moments that you can utilize. Teachable moment that somebody who doesn't have a relationship with their child may not spot, right? Let me give you an instance of something that happened to me recently. So I was sitting in for my children's cartoon. They were watching a cartoon called Kaliyu, right? And in this episode of the cartoon, Kaliyu had gone to school, and I think the teacher was trying to tell Kaliyu to organize his shelf and his toys. I don't know if he's in school or at home, I can't remember exactly now. But anyway, the teacher or the mom was telling Kaliyu to organize his room or something, or organize his toys, stuff like that. And Kaliyu refused to organize. So the mom or teacher ignored him, right? Ignored him totally. So he kept on piling his toys, throwing things on the floor and all of that. And then he was given, okay, I think it's the mom's, right? So he was given a project in school, and he comes home and he needed a particular thing to do that project, right? And he starts to look for it, and he couldn't find it because everywhere was scattered. He piled everything in his room and everything was scattered. So he came to the mom and started asking the mom, "Mom, did you see my stuff? I need it for my school project." And the mom was like, "Okay, you have to look for it in the pile of things that you have scattered all over your room." And the mom used that moment as a teachable moment to teach this boy why it's important to organize your stuff, because one day you'll be looking for something and you won't know where you kept it, right? And that thing might be very important to you. And I jumped on that teachable moment, and I had a conversation with my daughter, who is 6 years old at the time this video is being made. So I jumped on a conversation with my daughter, and we talked about why it's important to organize your stuff, to keep things where they're supposed to be, to keep your room arranged, so that when you need something, you know exactly where to go and get it, and you know where you have kept it, right? And there is no better way to teach a child than to spot them or to catch them when there's an event on ground that they can see play out, right? When there's something that they can actually apply what you have taught them to, right? And it's not like she doesn't make mistakes of keeping things at the wrong place anymore, but whenever she does that, I have a reference point, because we have had a conversation and it's a very relatable conversation. So I have a reference point to point to her and to show her that, oh, we don't really have to keep things where they're not supposed to be. We have to organize, because remember, when you don't organize, you might start looking for your things in the future, right? So when you have a deep bond, if for that teachable moment, if I wasn't sitting in their cartoon, if I wasn't creating time to spend time with them, I wouldn't have spotted that teachable moment and I wouldn't have used it, right? So this is what happens if you have a deep bond with your child. You people can be having conversations, and they say a lot of things that help you get into their head and help you teach them and redirect them and help them improve their behavior and their outlook on life, right? So basically, these are the few ways that you can help your child improve their behavior. Number one, I said that to improve your child's behavior, you want to understand exactly what a behavior is and where it's coming from. And from the definition we said that behavior is a person's response or attitude to a particular situation or to a particular thing, right? So behaviors are triggered by something. They don't just fly off from the air, right? So then when you understand what behavior is, one way to help your child improve behavior is by asking the right questions, right? So you're asking, where is this behavior coming from? What's triggering it? Have I enabled it? Have I taught my child? Is there anybody influencing them? Is the environment enabling this behavior? So when you ask the right questions, you have the right answers, and you know what you're addressing and what you're up against, right? So asking the right questions, having the right approach, right? And then the father of them all is having the right relationship with your child, having a deep bond with your child. That is one thing that can help you improve your child's behavior. I hope you found this conversation very helpful, and I hope that you share this video with a parent out there who might need it. And I have also created a resource that can help you to start today in creating a deep bond with your child. I will put the link to that resource in the description box of this video, and you can download it from the link will redirect you to the website where you can get the material and start creating this relationship with your child that can help you influence them positively and help them become better humans. Thank you once again for tuning in today. Until I see you next week at the Conscious Parenting TV. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.